One day, a fox stood in the middle of the forest and said he invented money. Not rabbit money. Not acorn money. Magic rock money. The forest lost its mind. For a long time, the forest ran on rabbits. The fox government controlled the rabbits. They decided how many existed. They decided what they were worth. Most foxes were fine with this. But some foxes were not. They did not trust the fox government. They did not trust fox banks. They had watched fox banks lose their rabbits in 2008 and get away with it. So a fox, nobody knows which fox, wrote a document. The document said, what if money had no owner? What if a rock could be money? And no single fox controlled it. And every transaction was recorded forever on a public list that nobody could change. He called it a blockchain. He called the rocks Bitcoin. The forest was skeptical. Then the rocks started going up in value. The forest was no longer skeptical. Here is how magic rocks work. Imagine a notebook. Every fox in the forest has a copy of it. Every time a rock changes pause, every fox writes it down at the same time. Nobody owns the notebook. Nobody can erase it. That is the blockchain. The rocks themselves are created by solving hard math puzzles. Foxes called miners run machines day and night to solve these puzzles. When they solve one, they get a rock. There will only ever be 21 million rocks. Ever. That is written into the rules. No fox can change that. Not even the fox government. This is the part that made certain foxes very excited. The fox government could print rabbits whenever they wanted. That made each rabbit worth a little less over time. Nobody could print more rocks. So some foxes decided rocks were better than rabbits. Word spread. Wall Street foxes smelled an opportunity. Suddenly every fox in the forest had a cousin who was getting rich off rocks. Foxes who had never thought about money were trading rocks at 3 a.m. New rocks appeared. Hundreds of them. Thousands. There was a rock called Ethereum. A rock called Dogecoin, which started as a joke. A rock called Luna. A rock with a dog's face on it. Foxes were putting their life savings in. Fox celebrities were posting about rocks. Fox influencers were paid to tell other foxes to buy rocks without mentioning they were paid. In November 2021, all the rocks together were worth 3 trillion rabbits. 3 trillion. The forest had never seen numbers like that. And then a very important thing happened. Nothing. No news. No crash. No scandal. The rocks just started going down. Slowly at first. Then faster. Here is what the forest did not understand about magic rocks. Rocks had no earnings. No revenue. No forest attached to them. When you buy a piece of a fox company, that company makes things. It has value underneath it. A rock is worth exactly what the next fox will pay for it. That is it. This is called the greater fool theory. You do not need to believe in the rock. You just need to believe a bigger fool will buy it from you later. This works beautifully on the way up. It works terribly on the way down. When foxes started selling, other foxes saw foxes selling and started selling. The price dropped. More foxes panicked. More selling. The price dropped faster. And then Luna happened. Luna was not just a rock. Luna was a magic rock that was supposed to be worth exactly 1 rabbit. Always. Forever. Guaranteed. In May 2022, it stopped being worth 1 rabbit. Then it was worth half a rabbit. Then it was worth nothing. 40 billion rabbits vanished from the forest in 4 days. The dominoes fell fast. A fox hedge fund called 3 Arrows Capital had borrowed billions of rabbits to buy rocks. When the rocks collapsed, they could not pay anyone back. They disappeared into the woods. Then a fox named Sam came forward. Sam ran a rock exchange called FTX. He wore no shoes. He said he was the responsible one. The safe one. Foxes trusted Sam with their rocks. In November 2022, Sam's exchange collapsed overnight. 8 billion rabbits belonging to regular foxes were gone. Sam was arrested. He was later found guilty on 7 counts of fraud. By the end of 2022, the total value of all rocks had fallen from 3 trillion rabbits to 800 billion. 2 trillion rabbits. Gone. Not stolen by the fox government. Not lost in a war. Just gone. Here is where it gets complicated. The blockchain itself did not fail. Bitcoin did not fail. The math still worked. The notebook still existed. No fox had hacked it or erased it. What failed was the foxes around it. The exchanges that gambled with deposits. The influencers who lied. The projects with no value hiding behind technical language. The foxes who confused speculation with investing. Some argue the original idea was sound. A currency with no central owner. Resistant to inflation. Accessible to any fox anywhere in the forest, even foxes with no fox bank account. In countries where the fox government destroyed the local currency, regular foxes actually used Bitcoin to survive. The rock was not entirely magic. The forest just got too greedy too fast. The rocks are still there. Bitcoin climbed back. By early 2024 it hit a new all-time high. The Wall Street foxes who called it a scam in 2018 were now selling Bitcoin funds to regular foxes. The fox government, which could not control the rocks, began working on their own digital rabbit. Because in the forest, nothing disappears forever. It just changes who owns it. And right now, according to Chainalysis, approximately 3.7 million Bitcoin, nearly 20% of all rocks that will ever exist, are permanently lost. Sitting in wallets whose passwords no fox can remember. Gone forever. But worth, at last count, somewhere around 350 billion rabbits.